In the quiet village of Oluwaro, where the earth was the color of sunset and the night sparkled with the songs of ancestors, lived a young girl named Amina. Her laughter was known across the village, bright, warm, and alive like the morning sun. But behind her laughter lived a story stitched with pain, survival, and hope. Amina had been raised by her grandmother, Mama Sod, ever since she lost her parents as a child. Mama Sod was a woman of fire and wisdom, with a voice that carried both thunder and comfort. Her stories shaped the heart of the village. She often told Amina, "My child, the earth listens to those who listen to their spirit. Never ignore the whispers of your soul." Every night, Amina sat by her grandmother's old wooden stool beside the fire, listening to stories of warriors, queens, spirits, and the silent strength of the land. Those stories became her comfort, her courage, and her identity. But one harsh year, the rains abandoned Oluwaro. The river dried into cracked mud, the trees shed their leaves like sorrow, and the ground turned hard under the sun's merciless glare. Animals migrated, crops failed, and families began to live, searching for survival elsewhere. "Mama, should we also go?" Amina asked one night as the fire flickered weakly. Mama Sod shook her head. "This land holds the bones of our ancestors. If we leave, who will greet them? Who will sing for them? This is our home."
But age had already wrapped its fingers around Mama Sod. The drought weakened her body, and soon she could barely stand. One evening, as her breathing became shallow, she reached for a small brown calabash, its surface decorated with ancient carvings. "Amina," she whispered, placing the calabash in her granddaughter's hands. "This calabash carries the last blessing of our lineage. Our ancestors' strength lives inside it. But listen to me. You must break it only when your heart can carry no more, when the world becomes heavier than your spirit. Only once. Only when the time is right." Amina clutched the calabash, tears rolling silently. And as the moon rose, Mama Sod breathed her last, joining the chorus of ancestors she loved so dearly. Life after her grandmother's death was a storm without shelter. Amina woke alone in a silent house. She fetched water from a faraway stream, her feet bruised by stones. She gathered wild berries, prayed for rain, and tried to keep her grandmother's hut from falling apart. But loneliness pulled at her heart like a shadow. Weeks turned into months. The land remained dry, and hope became a stranger. One evening, after returning from a long walk for water, Amina collapsed at the doorway. Her hands shook. Her body ached. The emptiness inside her chest felt heavier than the world itself. She reached for the calabash. Her voice cracked. "Mama, I can't do this anymore." Tears blurred her sight as she raised it. The calabash slipped from her trembling hands and shattered on the red earth. A moment of silence followed, deep, heavy, still. Then suddenly, a warm wind rose, swirling around Amina like an embrace. The broken pieces began to glow. A soft, familiar voice drifted through the air. "My child, you are never alone." Amina gasped. Mama Sod's presence wrapped around her like morning warmth. And then, thunder growled across the sky. Clouds gathered. Lightning flashed. The heavens opened, releasing the first rain the village had seen in almost a year. The thirsty ground drank eagerly. The riverbed filled again. The trees lifted their branches like they were waking from a long sleep. But the biggest transformation happened in Amina's heart. Strength, real, burning strength, returned to her. She stood tall, breathing in the scent of new beginnings. Days later, crops sprouted. Birds returned. Families who had left began coming back when they heard the river was alive again. Amina became a symbol of hope. They called her Amina the Restorer. The girl whose courage awakened the land. She rebuilt Mama Sod's hut, planted gardens, taught the children the stories she once heard by the fire, and kept the village spirit alive. Every evening, she watched the sun melt across the sky, painting Oluwaro gold. And whenever the wind brushed softly against her cheek, she smiled. She knew Mama Sod was there, whispering still. A child who listens never loses their way.